I think my channel might be a little frustrating for people who don't quite understand what the goal or the purpose to this content is. You see, from time to time, I'll get the handful of comments that are overly negative about the type of content that I'm making, while at the same time, other people totally get it and are very positive and receptive to this style of content. So I wanted to spend some time talking about it today to really paint that picture of what these videos are, who this channel is for, and what you should be looking to get out of it.
But before we get started, like this video, hit the subscribe button, and consider joining the channel. Channel members get exclusive access to Filmmaker Alchemy, behind-the-scenes lessons and insights on the business of video production. Learn how to turn your content into gold.
If you're new here, welcome to the channel. I tend to have strong opinions and rant and complain from time to time, but we all have opinions. It's okay. You have opinions. I have opinions. And after all, I'm just some dumb guy making videos. All the smartest people are down in the comments. So if you want to see what they have to say, go check them out there. I do want to talk today about the purpose of my channel and why I make content the way I do. You see, a lot of YouTube when it comes to photography and video is centered around gear, equipment, tutorials, and the latest and greatest in gadgets and technology. And that's kind of par for the course. And everyone sort of does the same thing. They'll show you example images, they'll show you example videos, and they might put together some kind of cool vlog or behind the scenes or something like that. But I really, that's so hard to do at a small scale for like a smaller channel. So this channel that you're watching right now is not big. There's no million subscribers. There's no 500,000 subscribers. There's no base of people coming back every day for behind the scenes tutorials. Those exist elsewhere, and there's plenty of other YouTubers doing it. But I want to make the content that I like, which is more passive content that I can just listen to. Most of my time on YouTube is not watching a screen. I'm not glued there to my phone or glued on my laptop or glued on a TV. I'm doing something else. I'm working, I'm in the garden, I'm shopping and getting groceries, or I'm getting gas in my car. I'm doing something else, and YouTube is just what I'm listening to in the background, kind of like a podcast, but you know, a lot of times you might want to glance just to see what they're talking about, and as a visual aid, there's a video there. If you go all the way back to the start of my channel, maybe not the very first videos, but the first videos that I started making regularly were a picture with audio. I wasn't even on camera. There was no video to it. It was a static photo with audio because I've always preferred that style of education or consumption when it comes to this type of content. I'll watch a Netflix show, I'll watch a movie in the theater, I'll watch a TV show on Apple TV or Prime or Hulu or wherever. When it's entertainment, I love to watch that type of stuff. That's the type of stuff I like to make as well, more visually stimulating, watch along kind of things. But when it comes to making content that's more educational, informative, maybe there's some philosophy built in of what I prefer, my opinion on something, a lot of this you can just listen to. There's no reason to look at me or watch the video. You can if you want. It's there. You're looking at it right now. Or maybe you're doing what I would hope, which is just listening in the background where you're being productive doing something else. My goal is not to take your attention away from something each and every day. It's to fill those boring parts of the day when you're sitting at the doctor's office or you're waiting for the dentist or you're just on your daily commute driving somewhere and you need to spend 30 minutes filling it in. I've always loved podcasts and radio for that, the filler content, but I've never really had it for what I'm passionate about, which is photography and video. There's plenty of people making that type of content, but it's look at this picture, look at this photo, look. And I'm usually trying to do something else. I don't want to be looking at what they're talking about or watching what they're doing, having that experience of, yeah, that's a cool vlog. That's a cool behind the scenes, but I have to look at your lighting setup. I have to look at all this stuff. And to go back to it, quite frankly, that's a lot of work to make that type of content, especially if you're trying to make it each and every day, which is what I'm trying to do. I want to fill your time each and every day. You can come back and see, hey, what's he talking about today? Oh, what's this new thing that he's testing or trying or experimenting with? I'm not really looking to spend a lot of time putting together a video that takes me 40 or 80 hours that gets 500 views. That's just not worth it. No one cares. In fact, more people would rather just listen probably than look at my video that I spent 80 hours on. There's this unfortunate reality in content creation that no one cares how much effort something took, because that's not on the screen. Your effort, the 100 hours you spent making the thing, doesn't translate. Usually it can if it's really impressive, right? There's plenty of videos that go viral and get crazy millions of views because of the effort that's put in, but that's at a scale beyond what most people can afford, both financially and for the time it takes. On a regular human scale where you're just making content, wanting to talk about something, wanting to show something off, there's diminishing returns, certainly. And my goal would be for you to just, again, be listening to this content. I don't want to have to put up pictures. Like, I can and I will if they're relevant, if they're helpful for the topic, but I'm also just totally fine talking, giving you a video that you can watch if you want, but really you probably ought to be listening to. That's what I did way back when. I put those photos on screen, just had audio and said, listen, here's, and people are like, well, you should be on camera. We want to see your face. You should make this a video. And so I've done that, but there's plenty of people who don't get that. It doesn't connect for them. They go, why is this guy just talking to me? What? Show me something. And quite frankly, it's not worth the effort to show you pictures of leaves, or, hey, here's what my backyard looks like, or, hey, check out this sunset. Look at these mountains. Check out some dirt and some rocks, which is most of what you'll see in YouTube tutorial or gear reviews. It's just what's available, because again, those people aren't going to spend all the time and money it takes to put something on screen that's impressive when you're competing with Netflix and Hulu and Prime and Apple and all the rest who have crazy budgets and can spend all sorts of cash making exceptional images that are worth looking at. For a YouTuber, for a content creator to make something worth looking at is quite a challenge. And I respect and admire the people who are willing to do it. I've tried myself time and time again on this channel to make videos that are impressive and captivating and high quality and take a lot of effort, and they'll get 500 views. Meanwhile, I can just talk, rant at a camera and get 10,000 views sometimes. It's crazy what people respond to. And yes, there's a little bit of like the clickbait, outrage drama associated with the YouTube algorithm. The more people engage with it, whether it's positive or negative, the better result that can have on the content's performance. But it really rarely comes down to effort. I have other channels that I've put effort into intentionally as more of a portfolio piece that have been quite successful as well. So you're never limited to just one YouTube channel. If you're looking to be a content creator, that's my first advice. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, have a few channels. They're free to start. Go for it. And that way you can diversify and talk about different things in different places. But for this channel, what I expect, and is why the microphone is right here, is that you would just be listening to this passively in the background. I hope you're out there picking up your groceries or on your way to work, or you're just, I don't know, spending some time falling asleep. That's another great thing that's nice to just listen to. My eyes are literally shut. I could not watch anything even if I wanted to because I'm trying to fall asleep, but I like to have some audio in the background. Maybe it's on the TV, maybe it's on an iPad, on a nightstand or whatever, but just fall asleep listening to something as well. Maybe that's how you're using this video right now, in which case, if you're that one person, great, that's awesome. That's what I expect. You don't have to finish the video. Just listen to me ramble and rant about video and photo as you drift to sleep. There's plenty of YouTube channels of all shapes and sizes, different styles, different formats. But what I think is kind of lacking in the video photo space is this type of content, something a little bit more daily, something a little bit more habitual that you come back to each and every day. I'm trying to give you something new in each and every day, not just repeat myself, same thing every day, each and every day. Hey, here's what I think about the Lumix, the GH7 again. Here's the GH7 again. Look at the GH7 again. I do talk about the S5 Mark II quite a bit, but I try and do it in moderation and mix things up and give you something different so it's not just the constant same thing that gets old and boring and stale. I want to give you something that's helpful, something that's maybe inspirational, maybe it's motivational, maybe it's educational. It's things that hopefully you can apply to your work, your job, your projects, and increase your ability without having to copy exactly a tutorial or just copy a technique that I'm doing or someone else is doing for that matter. Like, those are certainly amplifiers to your job. But I think a lot of it too is just how we think about our work, how we approach jobs and the mental effort that we're putting into them. because that's certainly a big part of my life and my work is just thinking about how I'm going to do something and pondering like, is that the right choice? Is that the right equipment? How many people do I need to have there? What scale, what budget, what timeline? All of those things matter. And that's really hard to do in a video tutorial to any, quality, let alone, I could spend weeks making a super captivating, interesting YouTube video. And they do exist. There's plenty of people out there making YouTube as their art. That's not what this is. I'm not trying to make art here. I'm just trying to talk to you and share some of my thoughts and ideas. And I want to get them back as well. I love when people comment and I can engage with them and see what they're thinking. If what I shared was helpful or useful, or if they have a better, different way of approaching the same problem, which can also help me in return. So don't think that I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart or it's all about you. Some of it is actually for me because I get better as well when people leave comments saying, actually do this, this, and this, or try that, or here's how I do it. That helps me as well. It's not just a one-way street. It's kind of two ways, even though I'm not watching your video. Maybe I am. Maybe you have a YouTube channel and I watch that as well. In fact, I'm probably not watching. I'm probably listening while I'm picking up groceries is actually what I'm doing. But that's what I would want you to do with my content as well. Hopefully kind of like a daily check-in, see what's up, fill the time, talk about videos and photos. I mean, there's plenty of other stuff that people are into, right? It could be your hobby. It could be your passion. It could be your profession. But there's plenty of content out there and all sorts, right? Like all the great tentpole verticals that have been with us forever. You've got news, you've got entertainment, you've got food, you've got fashion and beauty and lifestyle and, all the genres covered, right? But when it comes to photo and video, it's not quite as well defined. The audience isn't as large as all those other spaces. So I kind of want to like fill that void and be a voice. I don't want to be the only voice, but I'll be a voice in that space, sharing more of my thoughts, more of my opinions in a real daily kind of way based on maybe there's some video camera news, but maybe there's just some new piece of equipment that I liked or didn't like, or, hey, I did a job recently and here's how it went and here's what I learned and here's how I'm getting better. Here's how I'm pushing myself forward. Because I think that's all very helpful and the type of stuff that I like to hear about other people, what their experiences are as well. I'm less inclined to, watch the latest gear review with all the flashy, great visuals. Yes, they're nice, but they're just more or less commercials that the companies are already usually making as well. So it's kind of diminishing returns for me to watch the 20th review of some new camera where all the videos are more or less the same thing, telling you the specs, the features. Here's some cool shots of the camera or the lens or the gear. Here's how it looks in my lighting. Here's how it looks in my lighting. And everyone's just talking about the same thing. It can be helpful if you like those people and their opinions and what they think about that particular piece of gear. But what are they doing the next day? And what are they doing the next day? And what are they doing the next day? Are you not hearing from them again until there's a new piece of camera equipment out? Maybe they put together a tutorial. Maybe it's super impressive. Maybe that's the content for you. But I like stuff that I can just listen to casually in the background. And that's what this is for. So I thought that was kind of obvious. I don't know that I needed to make this video. But if it's just another piece of daily content, a little bit of filler to help you get through the day, to waste time on your commute, not waste time, but kill time, just get to the next thing, get to the job that you're trying to do, get the task list done for the day. I've got a yard. I've got to do some landscaping from time to time. I've got a garden that needs to grow. There's stuff to do. Totally fine to have a podcast or some kind of audio video going in the background while you're doing your work. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a desk job. Maybe it's a work day situation where you can listen to something. Maybe that's what this is filling your time with. I don't know, but that's why I make the content. It's for those people who want to listen and maybe get a little bit better each and every day with what they're doing, or maybe just hear a different opinion or hear the same opinion or a different perspective on something that we're all passionate about. Because if you're watching this content and you've made it to this point in this video, you definitely have a passion for this, as do I. I love shooting video. I love taking photos, and I want to get better at it in my own way, learning from other people, but also sharing my insights after, doing this close to 20 years. There's a lot of stuff that isn't always necessary. That is kind of, it's nice to have, but it's also a waste of time or a waste of budget or a waste of resources. That's the type of stuff that I like to cover and maybe give you a little bit more of my honest perspective on what it's like to work in this industry of content creation, video production, photography, whatever you call it. Tographer, hybrid, I don't know, but I do like to talk about it, and that's why I make the content.